Migas con huevo, migas a la mexicana, migas con queso, migas a la mexicana con queso, migas in a flour tortilla taco. ¡Vámonos! We're here today with another fun video and a quick and easy South Texas style breakfast. Today we're making migas a couple of different ways. Now for today's recipe, we're also using yesterday's party beans. And you know, the base of every migas recipe is fried corn tortillas and eggs. And to take the migas con huevo to another delicious level, you can also make them a la mexicana, also called salsa bandera sometimes. We're gonna use one serrano, one tomato, and some onion. And now I'm from South Texas, where we make the absolute best tacos in the world. So of course, we're gonna use some Longhorn cheddar cheese in our migas. I got my HEB pack of flour tortillas. Blasphemy for some people, but friends, I always say, ain't no right way, ain't no wrong way. Make it the way you like and be happy. Migas has been part of my family since before I was born. I grew up on a farm in West Texas in Pecos, and during summer, my dad would put me on a 50-20 John Deere tractor. We used to call that La Estufa, but that's another story. On the way to get on the tractor one morning, that my mom had made some tacos for breakfast, and it was a flour tortilla with migas con huevo. And I just remember my dad saying, I don't understand how people can eat tortilla with tortilla. I don't know why, but that memory just stayed because I was like already munching on my taco and I was like, pretty damn good, Dad. Do you eat migas in a flour tortilla? Let me know in the comments below. This is the way we've made it all of my life. I hope you enjoy this recipe. Now buckle up because we're gonna eat tortilla in tortilla. Vámonos! All right, my friends, let's get started first with our party beans from last night. Now we do have a video out on how to make these party pinto beans. Ooh, listen to that sizzle. I love a sizzle. I don't care if it's on the grill, on the stove, anywhere. My beans are starting to simmer. Time to start smashing. Now these are party beans, so they have already some bacon, a little salt pork, a little bit of onion, a little bit of cilantro, a lot of deliciousness. It's actually better if you have enough liquid in there while you're smashing them, and then you can just kind of simmer them slow when they get close to done or when they're done, and just let that moisture evaporate. Depends on how far you want to take them. All right, these beans are done to my desired consistency. Gonna put them back here on the other stove just to hold them for a little while we get started on our migas. But before we move on, I just want to take a quick moment to talk about today's sponsor, Made In. In my house, we all love cooking. Me, Terry, and my mom too. And we're always on the hunt for great products to improve our kitchen setup. I had actually been looking at the Made In cookware, and then serendipity struck and they reached out and I jumped at the opportunity to work with them. Made In designs professional quality products for the home cook, and they also partner with multi-generational factories and artisans to bring you all a curated collection of materials and shapes that you need in the kitchen. And so for today's migas, we're using the Made In stainless collection. These Made In stainless clad pans are crafted in Italy and used by professional chefs in the world's best kitchens. And look friends, these pans are amazing quality. Made In's 5-ply stainless steel material is what sets it apart from other pans out there. The 5 layers allow for superior heat retention, even heating, and ease of heat control. The handles are also designed to stay cool on the stovetop. Plus, all of Made In stainless clad cookware can go from the stovetop to the oven with ease up to 800 degrees. That's important for the cooking we do on this channel. Y'all can check out the stainless collection and Made In's other cookware by using the link in my description to save on your order. All right, it's time to get the migas cooking because I'm hungry. Vámonos! We're gonna go ahead and cook 2 batches. You can cube these up while your oil's getting hot, and I like to do about 1-inch squares. And if you don't get them exactly perfect, don't worry about it. It's not that big a deal. Remember, there's no right way, no wrong way. You're gonna get some little small stragglers on some of these little edges. Don't worry about those, they'll cook just fine. Most chefs recommend to get your oil up to about 350 degrees anytime you're gonna fry some homemade chips, or in this case, migas. I generally have done it so much that I don't really use a gauge. I can kind of tell just by the way the oil looks, and the best way to tell is you drop 1 miga in here, and if it starts to fry and float to the top immediately, your oil's ready. So let's start dropping some of these in here. You don't want to throw them all in there at the same time. You want to spread them out a little bit. Drop a few at a time. It could kind of boil over if you drop them all at the same time. So you see how all those bubbles climb up toward the top? You want to make sure that you add a little at a time so it doesn't overflow. It doesn't take long at all. It's not an exact time, but you do want to look for color on the migas. They get nice and crisp pretty quick, but I like to get a little golden brown color in them. You do want to stir them, not a lot, just a couple of times, just to make sure they're not sticking together. And while they're getting close to being done, you want to make sure you have your little dish, something with a couple of paper towels underneath, so that when you drop your migas in there, oil will get soaked up into the paper towel, and that way the migas won't be soggy. All right, friends, they're starting to get a little golden brown color. We are ready to extract our migas from the pan. I'm not going to turn off the heat because I have a second batch to go. We're just going to give them a little shake, get some of that oil out of there. You want them nice and crispy with a beautiful golden brown color like that. And you saw how quick they got done. I mean, it's literally like 2 to 3 minutes. It does not take long at all. And one way to test your migas to make sure they're really perfect, you do the quality control test. Yep, nice and crunchy. Perfect. All right, now this batch number 2 is done. I just turned off my heat. And again, we have to do the quality control. Ooh, perfect. We are gonna make the migas a la Mexicana first. I'm gonna start this pan on low, and here's a pro tip for you. If you want some extra delicious migas, use the oil that you use to fry. It doesn't take a lot on these made-in pans. I like to cut the serranos into medallions like this because it's easier for people not to bite into them that way. So I'm gonna set these aside right here, and I'm not gonna use a lot of onion, and then I'm gonna dice it up about 1/4 inch, more or less. All right, Terry says it's a little too much onion, so we're gonna set a little bit of this aside. We're gonna go ahead and put our onion in there and the serrano pepper. We're gonna put them all in there. Now this, we're not gonna be making a salsa out of it. Terry likes a little crunch in her onions, so we're not gonna cook them too much. Just spread them around a little bit like that. We're ready to add our tomatoes. And again, you wanna dice them up, whatever size you like is fine. We usually do about 1/4 inch on ours. All right, now once your tomatoes are cooked a little bit and the onions are a little bit soft, we're gonna drop all 3 of these eggs in here. They're already whisked up, they're ready to go. And of course, our traditional seasoning for breakfast is APC OG, salt, pepper, garlic. That adds wonderful flavor to everything. And you want just enough heat. You see how it's starting to cook on the edges really quick? That's perfect heat right there. And just as soon as they start to cook a little bit like that, it's time to add the migas. How much you want, honey? A little bit more?
A little bit more than that.
All right, let's add a little bit more.
Okay.
Perfect. All right, as soon as you drop those, you want to immediately start incorporating them. Once the egg is about 3/4 of the way cooked there, you want to turn the heat off completely and just keep stirring. All right, these migas are ready for my baby doll. This is her favorite all-time breakfast. Mine's barbacoa and menudo. We want to leave a little bit of room for our stage 2 beans. Take a look at that, my friends. That is pure deliciousness right there. All right, hon, your migas a la Mexicana are ready to go.
Thank you, babe.
Smells delicious.
Smells delicious. Yum. Cheers.
You good? Boom.
Real good.
Oh, you want some salsa on there? The salsa does add another delicious layer of flavor. And then you can get your Mexican spoon
There you go.
and do a mini taco. Your mini taco is more mini than mine, but I'll take it.
Yum.
That's so good. All right, hon, how did I do?
Good. They're good.
You know, I taught Terry how to cook. When I married her, she couldn't make an egg.
You did not teach me how
I
to
sure
make
did.
migas. Who burned the migas last week?
Oh.
I make migas.
Terry does make awesome migas. All right, my breakfast loving friend, it's time for me to make migas the way I like to eat them. I eat a little bit more than Terry. So I have 4 eggs in here. Turn the heat up just a little bit more. So once again, once you lay the egg in there, you want to start stirring right away. And when you get about halfway done cooking your egg, and the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna add a little bit of OG. I like a lot of migas in mine. So we dropped a bunch in there. And the heat goes off already. The egg is cooked to the doneness that I prefer. It will finish cooking. We're gonna drop a bunch of Longhorn style cheddar cheese on here. I love cheese on my migas. Whoo-hoo, nice hot tortilla on my plate. And I know, some people are gonna say blasphemy. I like my migas in a taco. I like everything on a tortilla, preferably a flour tortilla on Sunday mornings. Ooh, yeah, baby. And of course, lots of salsa on my breakfast taco. Just like that. Man, oh man, that is it don't get much better than that. It maybe don't get any better than that. This is fantastic. Oh my goodness. That's the kind of taco you could have for breakfast, lunch, or dinner any day of the week. You could also add the salsa, incorporate it with your eggs before you add the migas. You can also add cheese to that if you like. You can just make migas con huevo by itself. But what I wanted to share with you guys today was that there's a lot of different ways to do pretty much any dish. Ain't no right way, ain't no wrong way. Friends, I hope you enjoyed this video. It was a lot of fun making it. We always enjoy cooking for you guys. And we hope you cook this recipe and that you enjoy it. And if you do, tag us when you do it. Let me know in the comments below, how do you like your migas? Friends, thanks for watching. If you're interested in our APC barbecue rub, you can go to pitmaster.us. If you want to up your barbecue game, boom, go to pitmasterclass.us. Thanks for watching, friends. We'll see you at the next video. Thanks. Boom. I find it interesting how the oil, when it's getting hot, you see all these squiggly little lines as it's starting to change. Sometimes when you load the taco up too much, the way I do, some of it wants to come out the other end. You want to make sure and don't let any of it escape. Nobody's looking. The moisture in that onion will pop if it's a little too hot. So I turned it down just a hair. One tried to get away over there. You ain't going nowhere. Get in there. And some cheese, hon? You want some cheese?
No cheese.
Terry does not like cheese on her breakfast dishes. I do.